Hi, it's Lonnie. Welcome to Grace Blossoms for You. Today, I am joining Penny at Penny's Crafty Creations because she convinced me to start a Masterboard notebook. And I've been having a lot of fun. She said they were fun, and she was right. I've been doing a whole bunch. I think I have like 8 pages already. And so I thought we could maybe do one together. And if you're interested in a little strategy, I think I found something that works for me. So I'm trying to keep them kind of in the warm color family with some contrast. So I have all these different shades of neutrals. So that's kind of creamy, a little different cream colored, a little aged. But this one has the pop of color that I'm looking for. And this one has the darker contrast. So I've got some words, I've got some numbers, I've got some music. More words here, but they're not very visible. So I thought we could just come along and make some. So I want them fairly small. So I'm just going to separate them into bite-sized pieces. I like, because they get chopped up afterwards, I think it's nice to have a variety of background colors. Also, this one is plain on the other side, so I haven't used the plain side yet, but I could. So far, I've just opted for the words. I'm separating them because sometimes it's very easy to grab two. This one has an image on there I'm not too fond of, so I will leave that out. I'm not too fussy about the words because most of them will get covered up anyways with images. It's not, I think they're a little bit more obvious. Than the words. The words are very small anyways, so I bought this package of scrapbooking paper, dictionary pages from Amazon, and I didn't realize how tiny they were, so I decided to finally use them up. And then with this one, I'm going to tear off the edges. I'm going to clean all of these off and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back, and sometimes what I do is I ink the individual pieces, but I'm not going to take the time and do that today, just because I don't want to do them all, and that would take a while. So I pick my favorite glue, which is Pritt Stick, and then I just start laying down. I pick whichever side I think would be more pleasing to the eye. And normally I go for the cleft, but I didn't this time because there was more empty space on this side. So I use my notebook as a glue book, and then I just do it with my fingers. I just flatten it, make sure it's stuck, and then I just go, at first I just go in order, like what can I contrast that piece with. I mean, this is way easier than explaining it, but at the same time, when I first started doing masterboards, I didn't like how they turned out. And I think, as with most other things, it just happens. It clicks after doing so many, and then you start to recognize what it is you like. And then you just do that. And I'm likingly turning these every which direction just for fun. And so I've got that color one gonna pop there. And two, I try not to pick too many papers for one page. I just find that it's easy to get overwhelmed if you have too many choices. So I'm just going to make sure I go over the edge of my notebook so that I can trim it off later. Alright, so I did it one way. I started with the music paper over here. So what I might do is then work backwards so that I have them kind of staggered. So then I just need to pick a spot. So how is everyone today? Hope you're doing well. We have been having quite a bit of rain here, which is, for me, very unusual because we usually get more precipitation and snow than anything else. So rain around here is kind of different. In fact, I was commenting the other day how the grass is green. Usually we don't see that here in August because the sprinklers in the back doesn't, the system doesn't really work in the back, so we've actually never seen the back green unless we water it ourselves. And this year we haven't done anything, so okay, I'm going to put that one down after. I think I'm going to put the color here, maybe a smaller piece. That one. Yeah, so these are book pages that I did mark making on. And I'm finding I'm liking those more now than when I first started making them as well. And I think it's because I made them differently after a while. Sometimes when you start, especially, you make things and you do it the way somebody shows you. And then after you do it for a bit, you start to use your own style. It just kind of happens. I don't think it's done on purpose. I think it just kind of it catches up with you, like, why don't I do this? And you don't, not even necessarily conscious of doing it that way, but that's how I found it's going with me. So then I could also put the glue on the page, but for as long as I can, I like to put it on the item because then I know I can see where I've covered it. So then I do overlap them, and I think now I want the color here. So I try to keep in mind, the only thing I don't want is two pieces right next to each other that are the same. But if I have to, I can do that too, and then just add something on top that contrasts with them so it breaks it up a little. So while there are no rules, I do think you find what you like and then you just go with that. So then I'll put this one over here. So there's a piece here that's not covered. So I'm going to use this. Put that there. Yeah, so I'm filming today, and my plan after I do this video, I'm going to do a video showing how I use Masterboards, and well, one way. And so looking forward to that already. Well, look at that. I didn't put it. I guess I'm running out of room. Maybe that's why. Yeah, I was just really excited to get this graph paper notebook, but then I decided to use it for this instead. Oh well, I don't have to use all the pages for the Masterboard. This does use quite a bit of glue, and I find that not all glue is the same. Not all glue sticks are the same either. But I finally found one I like, so I'm happy about that. So yeah, the other day I just had a blast. I sat down, I got a bunch of paper out, and I just did a whole bunch of pages, and I found it so relaxing. And then when I stopped, I felt like I had accomplished a lot. Not necessarily saying that this is a huge accomplishment, but that is how it felt. And then sometimes I wish I had bigger pieces. And I also ran out of room here for the camera. Need one just a bit bigger. Something like that. Little bit of wiggle room with this glue stick, which is nice. I find that if I don't like it exactly where I put it, I can slide it over just a bit. And one more piece here. I don't like to have too much of something left over, so I think what I'm going to do is put these right here. See, now I'm overthinking because I'm trying to match it, which doesn't need to be the case. So I'm just going to put this on. And then I just go as far as I can to the edges. There we go. So there we go. As you can see, I did pretty good with spreading them out so they're not all in one clump. Just over here, I did overlap them a little bit. What I could do, if I didn't like that, is just break them up by putting a piece of that right there. Okay, and then if I have really large things sticking out, I just kind of give it a little bit of a trim now. Not always either. As you can see, I have a lot of pieces left over, so I could easily do another page similar. I would just pick different focal points. So hope you understand what I'm talking about when I say contrast and yet similar. So these notes, that's why I like them. They provide immediate contrast to the rest of the page, and then so does the darker craft colored paper here. And then the metallic adds like this other dimension yet, and you just kind of keep building on it. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you like that, and stick around and we'll make something next time with the Masterboard. All right, thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.